Previously on Grim Nasty TV, we see what happens when it is a transformation that happens with the mojo in the Spear of Destiny. Alright, so basically, last time we talked about what happens to Jack when he wasn't educated as to what fourth dimension, third dimension, what to do. Has nothing to do with the fact that he's Superman or that he's confident or anything like that. It has to do with, and see, the spike, he can't really, it hurts him, it burns and stuff like that. The pain is unbearable. But as the Fahrenheit, that is like the Christmas hat, comes out of the light sun, which is the Spear of Destiny, it makes everything a true perception of shape shifting, which hits the individual like the mojo hits them. And if it happens, it happens abruptly, and you have to let it curb off for a while. Kind of like when I spoke in the last video, that there's something very significant to see here. Right here, you find out who the reptilians are. Now, this is very important. The fact that that happens is another reason. See, they all work for the dude with one eye, but the fact, and they have all the resources hogged to themselves. Look at that, and the ravenous for the people that are unknowing. See that? So it's all right there in our face. So they don't want you to know, and it's not as black and white as cartoons. It's these doodles are more like Pixar characters, but it shows you that when this happens, this is when we're supposed to take it back. You know what I mean? And this is when the doodles get their world back and stuff like that, and everything goes back to normal, the way it should be, in balance with the perception and the removal of the S wave, which is really what this is. It's not a spike that goes into a hotel, or a spike that it can even clog up the holiest of holies where the smoky gods is. There's no spike that's in that. It's still auroras. None of that shit's relevant. So that's all poppy filled nonsense for these devils to laugh about and say, she's going back in there or whatever. None of that shit is relevant to nothing. It's relevant to anything. And even furthermore, the only thing that is bad is that the Superman becomes like a bizarro that doesn't know what he's doing. He does things that would go against what she would want to see an end result, and that's all it is, really. It's not like the confidence brings forth the manifestation, but the direction and the grooming and don't touch those masons and all of that is what we got to know first, and that's why we're on standby and stuff like that. And so it just makes perfect sense. And sorry it took so long to build up to that super deep logical point, but I just had to kind of go on for a minute to kind of build up, and then you can kind of see, and they want you to think she's wicked and evil for doing this too. So this is a bad doodle apocalypse. I mean, come on, get out of here. You know that this is the reversal of truth, that we're supposed to have perception and know who reptilians are and everything else in here, and the doodles in the trees. We're supposed to be able to see them. So when Jack Deeves, he doesn't really know what that is. He's like, I don't know anything. So if this was the way to plug it back where the smoky god was, and the doodles come to fight you, it's not like he would know to go with it and say, okay, well, this is the way things are. See, Mr. Cheeks blows up in his face. See what I mean? He's not doing anything right. There's Mr. Cheeks again. So this shapeshift immediately is just saying, hey, you're really a being of light, and you have the ability to shapeshift. But look at how they handle it, and look at how it's perceived as dangerous, and now there's something bad come on. You know what I mean? Like, it's really a harmonious love frequency vibration that takes over, and everybody's happy. You know what I mean? So they're loving, but then it looks like they're fighting, but it's not. They're actually loving each other. Watch this. So that's essentially what it's to be a scene with the love frequency taken back over. It's really a good thing. So but they demonize it like that, and they say, oh yeah, everybody getting their both sides of their brain to see what this place really is. That's a bad thing, and Superman Jack is gonna save plug it back into the highest peak with the spirit of destiny that can't be plugged into anything. It's really ridiculous. It's really just silly and stupid. But you see what I'm saying about these poppy fields. You see what I'm saying about the grooming of the Superman. And now you see what I'm saying about why they don't want you to see. And it's because you'll see who's in here. And they demonize it with the most simplest gestures, like stuff like this. And they want you to think that it's all a bad thing, but it's not. And I'm here to explain that and express that. And we know the doodles are where it's at because they all love each other. They love us. And the trees are good and they're awesome. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is. That's the truth of it. And they can't hide the truth. It doesn't matter how many shields come on here trying to insult or antagonize. None of that shit means anything. It doesn't change the prophecies or anything like that. Demonizing how she's dressing whenever she just wants to dress like this is stupid to demonize, because she can dress in a big crown and a big gown, or sparklies, or this. Something more relaxing and more outgoing and more exposure to electrical abilities, or if that is the case, if it's not just a shapeshifter or anything like that. But it's her prerogative, and she started it first. So then they start flooding the stores with lingerie and stuff, saying this is bad and you're evil if you do this. So anybody that's out there that sees anything and demonizes it, you're just thinking with the brainwashing that you were taught with, and none of that means anything. So you've got to get that out of your mind and realize how this place really works, and that this place really is a fourth dimensional place. You look at the little swastika thing they demonize in the center of the earth, and people think it's a swastika, but none of that shit is relevant to anything but the divine feminine, which comes in the twos and the fours, not in the trinity of threes. It comes in twos, her and the sun, and then it comes in fours when you say fourth dimension. It's as simple as that. So that spiraling could represent four dimensions spiraling on a polaris. And it's so logical, it mathematically adds up. It's irrestakeable and undeniable truth. And they don't like it, you know? They don't want to talk about the fourth dimension. These devils, I'll give you another one before I leave. Whenever they start talking about fifth dimension, they skipped over the fourth dimension. They say, man, I'm in the fifth dimension right now, but there is none. You see what I'm saying? There's only the third and then the fourth. And these people will say, man, it's a 3D world, but you got to break into the fifth dimension. Watching you see these TED Talks talk about stuff like that, it's ridiculous. They just skip over her because they just don't want anybody to say that she's a factor. And that's the reason why there's a space between the lions, crouching tiger, and that brings out the hidden dragon, and the black sun, Spskowski. That's the reason why there's a space between lions and Spskowski on Fallen. All right, so that's all for this video right here. Thank you for watching Grim Nasty TV. I love you all. Onward till we go out the fog. We're staring into the sun, and I got some more stuff for you here from Guru coming up, and it's amazing. And wow, continue the hazing. Stay awake.